Spent a few days adding integers. Now we need to talk about subtracting integers. And I want to start off with a couple of notes here. First, we will use many of the same ideas and rules for subtracting with some adjustments. There are a couple of adjustments and changes that we have to talk about when we subtract integers. We will use many of the same ideas and rules for subtracting with some adjustments. And I want to give you two very important points about subtracting integers. Point number one. A subtraction sign, and this is one of the biggest things that you have to just train your mind about. A subtraction sign is a negative. You have to train your mind right now that when you see a subtraction sign, it is a negative. For example, if I see 8 minus 15, all right, that minus sign right there is a negative. Put that in your notes. Label it. It even looks like a negative, doesn't it? A subtraction sign looks like a negative. It is a negative. Okay? We're not going to rewrite this as 8 plus a negative 15. All that does is it winds up confusing people. But what we're going to do is we're going to think through this the same way that we did last week. If I was on a number line, I would start at 8. Okay, this is a positive 8. And last week, when we combined that with a negative 15, didn't we go 15 units to the left? Okay, so if I go 15 units to the left, I wind up at negative 7. So the answer to this one would be negative 7. And if you think of that in terms of the whole illustration, it does make sense. Okay? Remember, we said a positive number is like standing on an 8-foot hill. Okay? If I'm up on an 8-foot hill, let's say that you're up here. I'll put this little stick figure there. You're up on an 8-foot hill, and you dig down 15 feet. If I dig down 15 feet, I'm going to go past 0, and I'm going to be at negative 7. So this does make sense. Okay? A subtraction sign is a negative. That is critical, that you drill that in your mind. The second point that we need to train ourselves with is that two negatives. Now notice I'm talking about two negatives side by side. Okay? Two negatives side by side make a positive. And I have a kind of a nickname for that I use. I call that snake eyes. And you'll hear me use that term, and I think it does help people kind of understand it a little bit. Two negatives side by side make a positive. That would be like this problem. 4 minus a negative 7. That is what I would call snake eyes. Two negatives side by side. Here's a negative, here's a negative. Remember what I told you, subtraction is a negative. So we have two negatives side by side. Those two side by side become a positive. Now what we're going to do with this is we're going to rewrite it. This is going to become 4 plus 7. Not 4 plus a negative 7, 4 plus 7. Okay? And so the answer to this one is 11. Now, one thing that you have to do with this, some of this is new and different. You have to believe that it's true. Okay? It's something new, but if you see two negatives side by side, it automatically becomes a plus. All right? One of the most important things for this whole problem is this right here. Rewrite it. I don't want people just scribbling over top of it and doing this. You need to rewrite the problem, okay, as 4 plus 7. Let's get to some examples now. Find the difference. And I think if you remember that we still approach these the same way that we did before, you'll be okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make this simple for you. I'm going to give you 4 situations. And every problem you're going to do tonight is going to fall into one of these 4 situations. All right? First, situation A. If you can match up your problem in homework to one of these situations, I think you'll do fine. Here's the first situation. 3 minus 5. Okay? 3 minus 5. Now remember, what kind of 5 is that? That's a negative 5. So think of our number line. Here's 0. Here's 3. If I go 5 to the left, where am I at? Negative 2. All right? Let's do another one like that. How about 7 minus 18? You're starting at positive 7. Starting at positive 7 and going to the left 18 units. Where am I going to be? Very good. Negative 11. Okay? That is what I call situation A. That's the first type of problem you'll see. The next situation, situation B. Two minus a negative 4. Now, is this a special situation that I gave a name to? I called that snake eyes, and I told you that when you saw it, we needed to rewrite the problem as 2 plus 4. So what's 2 plus 4? 6. It is what you think it is. Okay? You try one of those. You do this problem. 19 minus a negative 22. Rewrite it and find the answer. Okay, I saw a lot of good things. We rewrite this as 19 plus 22, and it's 41. The third situation. Situation C. And these you have to pay a little bit more attention on, but they're still not bad. Negative 2 minus a negative 9. Now, do you see snake eyes up there? We do. We see it right here. So when I rewrite this, that's the only thing that changes. This is still negative 2. And then it becomes negative 2 plus 9. Okay, that's how you rewrite it. Now let's think of our number line. Here's 0. If I start at negative 2 and add 9, which direction do I go? To the right 9 units from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I will be at 7. Okay? Negative 2 plus 9 is 7. Let's do another one of those. Negative 5 minus a negative 2. Well, once again, we need to rewrite it as negative 5 plus 2. So think of your number line. If I start, here's 0. If I start at negative 5 and go 2 units to the right, where am I? Negative 3. Use your number line to help you, people. All right, it will really help. Fourth situation, situation D. Here's the first problem. Negative 9 minus 10. This is not snake eyes because I don't have two negatives side by side. You do not rewrite this one. This is a very good problem to count on our number line to help us. Here's 0. Here's negative 9. So I start at negative 9. And didn't I tell you that a subtraction sign is like a negative? So am I going to go to the left or to the right? To the left, 10 units. Where will I be? I will be at negative 19. Or you could think of the hole illustration. I'm in a 9-foot hole, and if I take out 10 more feet, I'm going to be in a 19-foot hole. Okay? Let's do another one of those. Negative 16 minus 10. You're starting at negative 16. Okay, think of your number line again. Here's 0. Here's negative 16. Starting at negative 16 and going 10 units to the left. Where am I? Negative 26. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 4 problems, but they're going to be all out of order. I'm not going to tell you which situation they are, and I want you to try them on your own. Okay? This is how we're going to finish this lecture because it's very important that you match up the situation to the problem. 4 problems, they will not be in order. Here's the first one. Negative 8 minus negative 10. Number 2 is 6 minus 14. Number 3 is negative 20 minus 30. And number 4 is 10 minus a negative 15. I'll pause the video. You try those on your own. All right, let's see how you did. The first problem I have to rewrite as negative 8 plus 10. Now remember what I told you. The number line will take you home. All right, so if I start, here's 0, here's negative 8. If I go 10 units to the right, because I'm adding 10. If I go 10 units to the right, I'm at positive 2. The answer to this first one is 2. The second one does not need to be rewritten. So I have to go to my number line. I'm starting at positive 6. So over here is positive 6. If I have a negative 14, that means I need to go 14 units to the left from the 6. So I'm going to wind up at negative 8. The answer to number 2 was negative 8. Number 3 was not snake eyes. Think of your number line. Here's 0. Here's negative 20. But I'm going 30 units to the left, and I wind up at negative 50. Number 4 is snake eyes. I rewrite it as 10 plus 15. 10 plus 15 is 25. And we will stop there for today.